Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today I have a review roundup for you. 3 new games that I want to cover in a quick fire format. Here I'm going to be talking about Commandos 2, Phogs, and then Morbid, the 7 Acolytes. Here I'll basically give you a quick breakdown of my thoughts and what to expect so you can decide if you want to jump in or not. So with that luck, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family and let's get started. So the big one, or at least the big one in my opinion, Commandos 2, it joins the Switch, and I've been excited for this one since it was announced. I could not wait, in fact. I've been bigging it up to my friends and mentally just preparing to throw myself into what is basically now famous for being extremely challenging, and it's not gonna apologize when it kicks your ass. I can tell you that now. Well look, I'm gonna put it out there, what a disappointment this port is, and that sucks to say because Commandos was very much a part of my childhood and I just couldn't wait to relive that. Now no doubt some of this expectation was my own fault for being too, overly excited, but some, or even most here honestly, it comes down to very poor design. So let's start with the big number one problem. The controls are just lacking. It seems that switch from keyboard and mouse to controller has not been kind at all. The game, it welcomes you with this obnoxiously complicated control layout screen, and it just nearly made my head explode. You can actually access this at any time, but tell me that is not an overwhelming welcome to a game. So I get into it though. First mission, it's just simple training and I die pretty much immediately, in fact. Then I die again, and I do expect that. The problem here though is why I'm dying. Even with the simplest of tasks, it requires pinpoint accuracy, and all I need to do is shuffle up behind this dude and hit him in the back of the head. What they've done here is they've changed it from point and click to free movement, and it just feels off. The accuracy is so weird, and so frequently when I thought I was in position, I'd get no response at all. Even seeing my enemy's field of view, you normally get that cone. It required me to select the target system, select the enemy I wanted, and then select to the view point meter. It's just weird. Then when it came to shooting as well on the second level, this barely functioned, and I kept dying as I tried to accurately aim in the correct direction, and this cursor is just stuttering all over the place. I got there eventually, but a game like this, that feeling of dying because of the design, is not a good one, and I could not bring myself to actually finish and wrap up the experience. The frustration here, it was overwhelming, and tarnishing my memory of what is up there was one of the my favorite games of all time. I'm sorry, but it just wasn't worth that cost. I made it to mission 4, mission 5, and that's where I left it. The sad thing is the good game is still here underneath this control scheme, but finding it's going to be absolutely infuriating at points. Like I said, a game like this, it lives and dies by its controls, and they need to work on patching this up as quickly as possible because the rest of the package is actually okay. Performance, not bad. There's a few long load times, I will say that, and some stutters here and there, but generally I was happy. The upgraded visuals, they're not going to blow your mind, but I mean, it is an old game. You can't expect too much. And then the characters, all the voice acting, just the storytelling, it's still as cheesy and over the top as always, and I absolutely love it. I love this game, I'm passionate about this series, I just don't love this version. And yes, I didn't finish the game, so take this as you will, but for me, it's a below average 4 out of 10. I can't call it bad, the good is still here. You're just kind of swimming against the tide to now find it. Hopefully it does get patched quickly though, and I can revisit it as soon as possible because Commandos absolutely deserves its time back in the spotlight. I'll also add here quickly, I played a lot in handheld, and I will say it translates pretty well given the fact that there is a lot happening on screen here, especially with those controls. Sadly though, it's a rare miss for Calypso that have done some absolutely stunning work recently on the Switch. Phogs is fantastic. I went in straight away with Commandos, so I'm going to do that same thing here. If co-op games are your thing, this is one of the best I've played in a long time, and it offers both single player as well as local or online 2-player. Straight away as well, I'm not sure how many drugs the dev team were on at the time of development, but talk about a world that is about as colourful and as eccentric as they come. You can tell a quick colour palette switch here could take this from dreamlike to the darkest depths of a bad day in the Roger Waters household. Pink Floyd Psychedelic for anyone too young to kind of get that reference. Here though, you control a head of a dog. Each these heads, they are connected in the middle. I said to my friend, it's kind of like a weird human centipede. He said the kids cartoon Cat Dog, and that is probably gonna be more suitable. Here though, you navigate this world, you meet the locals, and you essentially complete tasks on their behalf to unlock what appears to be a massive worm that eats you and sends you to that next location. I do feel like the Ghana team, they would absolutely adore this. I just love this world though, the visuals are stunning and we just had a blast playing it online. The worlds are extremely creative, especially a funhouse moment that just really shows how much thought has been put into the challenges here. And those challenges, they were challenging without ever being, you know, borderline unfair. This could be played by any age group, but do not take that as meaning young or family play only. We are both in our 30s and we basically just laughed the entire time, and then also kind of argued at points when we didn't want to go the same direction. While I did notice the occasional frame rate issue here and there, they were few and far between, but I have very few complaints. It's got a good amount of content for the cash you'll be spending. For me, this one a great 8 out of 10, and if you don't buy it now, at least add it to that wish list. It even has an option where you share one controller to really connect with these characters. One warning though, single player, it does expect you to control both heads, and it is extremely challenging. The final game I want to talk about today then, it's Morbid, and yeah, this one is going for all out disturbing, gruesome, and it definitely succeeds in that sense. Promises like buckets of blood, absolutely delivers. Describing itself as a horror punk action RPG, it had me at hello, and it's embracing a few influences that I just can't question. David Cronenberg and then the Soul series, and who would say no to that? This one, what you are getting is an isometric hack and slash adventure that essentially ties into things like inventory management and then some minor RPG elements as well. As the last remaining survivor though, you wake amongst the dead and now must set out into this creepy like world to take out the 7 Acolytes. These are beings that have been possessed by deities called Gahars, and yeah, they are not happy, that is for sure. Throwing you almost immediately into the thick of it though, from the opening moments, it's gonna set its expectations of you face off against foes that definitely appear more powerful than you and for sure bigger than you in size. This though, I'm gonna say now, and this is kind of what broke the experience for me, it's kind of a facade. They may look big and scary, but they all follow very set routines, and once you get the hang of it, it's actually nowhere near the high difficulty the Souls-like tag suggests. The problem with this one, it's the isometric viewpoint. It gives you so much information on your foes nearly immediately that you're going to learn very quickly how to approach each of them so you can exploit their weaknesses. The weapons are fun though, the pixel work, that world creation, absolutely stunning if you like that kind of gothic vibe, but I will put out there now, this is another one I'm yet to beat. I'm starting to get a little burnt out on the formula as I approach the 4th boss, and that's why it's making this list today. It's been fun, I just can't quite decide if I'm going to be sticking it out to the very end. Playing this one handheld though, that's where I've got the most out of it for sure. The general style of it all, it just works very well in that scenario. As I say, haven't beaten it, don't feel comfortable giving a score, but if you like your Souls experiences, this is a solid shot of the genre that just becomes a little too predictable and repetitive with progression. And that's it, 3 more games you may want to check out. Maybe save that cash, maybe you've been playing them already and you can let me know what you think about them in the comments down below. So with that then, like a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.